Thanks for staying with us. You're watching WION World is One. I'm Adha Juneja and this is Speed News. Let's start with all the stories making headlines today. The US military says it has completed its latest round of strikes on Iran, marking the 10th consecutive night of attacks. The Pentagon said the operation targeted Iranian military command centers, missile and drone launch sites, maritime capabilities and air defense systems. Washington says the strikes are aimed at weakening Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. The latest action comes as President Donald Trump warns Iran following the deaths of 3 US soldiers, with tensions continuing to rise across the region. Iran says it targeted a US military base in Kuwait with missiles, claiming it struck high-altitude missile defense systems at Camp Arifjan. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said the conflict has escalated into a full-scale war as regional tensions continue to rise. Air raid sirens sounded across Kuwait city following reports of missile and drone attack and activity, while Kuwait's military said it activated its air defense systems. The developments come as Iran intensifies attacks in the Gulf region. Jordan's army says its air defense systems intercepted and destroyed 3 Iranian missiles targeting the kingdom. The military said the missiles entered Jordanian airspace from Iranian territory and were successfully downed. Authorities confirmed there were no injuries or material damage following the incident. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations Agency says it has received multiple reports that a tanker was struck by an unknown projectile in the Strait of Hormuz, according to UKMTO. The incident occurred about 8 nautical miles northeast of Alima, Oman. Authorities are investigating the report. The agency has advised all vessels transiting the area to exercise caution and report any suspicious activity, as maritime security concerns remain high in the strategic waterway. India has condemned an attack on the merchant vessel MV Golden Leo near Ukraine's Odessa port that killed 4 Indian sailors and left 1 critically injured. The vessel had 17 crew members on board when the attack took place. India's Ministry of External Affairs said the Indian mission in Ukraine is closely monitoring the situation and providing assistance to those affected. The ministry expressed condolences to the families of the deceased sailors and wished a speedy recovery to the injured crew members. The incident marks the first reported deaths of Indian merchant seafarers in the Russia-Ukraine war. Yemen's Saudi-backed Presidential Council says it will work to resume oil exports as the country continues to face a deep economic and humanitarian crisis. Council head Rashad Al-Alimi said revenues from oil exports would be directed towards paying salaries, improving public services and supporting economic stability. Al-Alimi accused the Iran-backed Houthi group of targeting vital oil facilities and blocking exports, saying the government had shown restraint in response. Yemen's internationally recognized government has struggled to restore oil exports after repeated attacks on key energy infrastructure. Russia says it intercepted around 400 Ukrainian drones targeting Moscow overnight. Authorities reported damage to homes and infrastructure in several areas near the Russian capital, with reports of strikes on an oil depot and a logistics center. The drone attacks came a day after Kyiv was hit by one of the heaviest barrages of ballistic missiles of the war. Ukraine has intensified its long-range strikes on Russia as the conflict continues to escalate. Protesters have gathered in Kyiv for a 5th consecutive day, demanding action from the government over the dismissal of Defense Minister Mikhailo Fedorov. Demonstrators are calling for concrete decisions from authorities, saying public support remains central to Ukraine's leadership. At the same time, the protests over Fedorov's removal have added pressure on President Volodymyr Zelensky as he seeks to prevent divisions within Ukraine while the war with Russia continues.
Влада – це народ! Влада – це народ! Влада – це сільського геть! Сільського геть!
US President Donald Trump says he held a very good conversation with UK's new Prime Minister Andy Burnham, describing the US-UK relationship as outstanding. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said the leaders discussed trade, military cooperation and efforts to determine the Strait of Hormuz or demine the Strait of Hormuz. He also said they plan to meet soon and pledges continued US support for the new British government. UK Prime Minister Andy Burnham has appointed former Health Secretary Wes Streeting as Defence Secretary as he continues to unveil his new cabinet. Streeting, who resigned as Health Secretary in May after losing confidence in former Prime Minister Keir Starmer, had considered challenging Burnham for the Labour leadership before withdrawing from the race. The appointment comes as Burnham completes key industrial and ministerial appointments following his assumption to office. The US has condemned what it called China's dangerous and aggressive actions in the South China Sea following a confrontation involving Philippine naval personnel near the second Thomas Shoal. The Philippines accused China's Coast Guard of injuring a Filipino sailor with a baton during the incident near a Philippine military outpost. The US State Department said China's actions undermine regional peace and stability, urging Beijing to stop what it described as destabilizing conduct. But the statement came as US Secretary of State Marco Rubio arrived in Manila for talks with counterparts from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. Washington said it continues to support peaceful resolution of maritime disputes in the region.
Ejemplo de honor y servicio a la nación.
Con la voluntad inquebrantable, continúan sirviendo a la fuerza en diferentes tareas.
Sistema de medios públicos continúan siendo un recurso fundamental para el cumplimiento de la
nacional, sino también a personal de las fuerzas militares y delegaciones de países amigos. La destreza de nuestras tripulaciones.
Outgoing Colombian President Gustavo Petro has called on his supporters to defend his government's social and economic reforms and resist any attempts to reverse them. In his final Independence Day speech as president, Petro accused Israel and the United States of interfering in Colombia's recent election, allegations rejected by electoral authorities. Petro urged supporters to mobilize and organize strikes if the incoming government moves to alter labor reforms introduced during his administration. Political tensions remain high following Adela Espriela's narrow election victory, with the conservative leaders set to be sworn in on 7th of August. The UN Secretary Council has warned of continued insecurity, humanitarian challenges and political instability in Haiti as gang violence deepens the country's crisis. UN officials say Haiti faces urgent security threats, with armed groups expanding their influence and challenging state institutions. The UN called for security efforts and preparations for credible elections to move forward together, stressing that long-term stability requires stronger institutions, justice and support for communities affected by violence. Officials also warned that gangs are targeting key economic networks, including transport routes, fuel supplies and food distribution systems, posing a wider threat to Haiti's governments. The U.S. Department of Justice has launched a probe into Harvard University's financial aid programs, examining whether some practices discriminate against American citizens. The Civil Rights Division said the review will focus on Harvard's China-based financial aid programs and whether they exclude U.S. students. Well, Harvard has previously rejected allegations of discriminatory policies, saying it does not allow such practices, and has accused the Trump administration of targeting the university for defending its independence. At least 20 people have been killed and more than 100 remain missing after severe flooding struck Afghanistan's Nuristan province. Rescue teams are recovering bodies as search operations continue, with several residents and government officials, including the provincial mayor, still unaccounted for. Floodwaters destroyed riverside shops, markets and buildings in the provincial capital, Parun, leaving communities searching through mud and debris for survivors. Afghanistan's disaster agency has warned of more rain and storms, urging residents to stay away from flood-prone areas. The Chilean Air Force has launched helicopter rescue operations after powerful storms triggered severe flooding in the coastal city of La Serena. Emergency crews are working to reach residents trapped by rising waters, with flood damaging infrastructure, isolating neighborhoods and forcing hundreds from their homes. Heavy rains have battered the northern regions of Coquimbo and Atacama, areas unaccustomed to such intense rainfall. The Chilean government has declared a state of emergency as rescue and relief efforts continue. Anthropic has won final court approval for its $1.5 billion settlement with authors, resolving a major U.S. copyright lawsuit over the use of books to train its cloud AI model. The San Francisco Federal Court approved the deal, making it the largest known copyright settlement in U.S. history, with more than 91% of eligible authors and publishers claiming their share. The case followed a landmark ruling that AI training on books qualifies as fair use, while Anthropic was found liable for storing more than 7 million pirated books. Some authors have opted out of the settlement and continue to pursue separate copyright lawsuits against Anthropic. Cybersecurity firms PatchStack, HexaStrike and Watchtower have warned that hackers are actively exploiting two critical WordPress security flaws, targeting websites that have not yet installed the latest security patches. The researchers said the vulnerabilities are already being used in real-world attacks, allowing hackers to take over vulnerable WordPress websites. Now, one estimate suggests that up to 90 million WordPress websites could still be at risk, although automatic updates and security tools have reduced the number of exposed sites. The two security flaws can be combined to give attackers full remote control of a website, prompting WordPress to urge users to update their software immediately. Google is reportedly developing a new AI server chip designed to build parts of its Gemini AI model directly into the hardware to improve performance. According to the information, the chip, internally codenamed Frozen V2, could be 6 to 10 times more power efficient than Google's current custom AI chips. The new chip is expected to enter deployment as early as 2028 and is aimed at easing AI computing capacity constraints without replacing Google's existing TPU chips. The report comes days after Bloomberg said Google have developed the release of its latest Gemini AI model as the company works to improve its capabilities. US President Donald Trump has ordered new 50% tariffs on a wide range of Canadian goods, including wine, hockey sticks and cement, with the duties set to take effect in 30 days. The move targets products covered under the USMCA trade pact while exempting energy, potash and some sector-specific goods. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has called the tariffs a violation of the trade agreement and says Ottawa is ready to intensify negotiations with Washington. Asian stocks advanced after oil prices retreated from one-month highs on hopes of renewed mediation efforts in West Asia. Brent crude slipped below $89 a barrel after reports that Iran had received a proposal for a 10-day ceasefire. Investors are also turning their focus to a crucial week of corporate earnings from major technology companies, with results expected to test confidence in the AI sector amid rising energy prices. higher bond yields and persistent geopolitical uncertainty. The US dollar remained near a one-week high as investors balanced hopes of a ceasefire in West Asia against fears of further conflict disrupting energy supplies. The dollar index held steady while oil prices stayed elevated after sharp swings in recent sessions. Markets are also watching rising US Treasury yields and inflation risks, with higher crude prices strengthening expectations that major central banks could keep interest rates higher for longer. Millions of Spanish fans took to the streets of Madrid to celebrate the national team's World Cup victory. More than 2 million people joined the celebrations, with supporters calling the historic win a moment they can never experience again. On stage, tournament best player Rodri paid tribute to Ferran Torres, whose goal secured Spain's victory over Argentina in the final. The celebrations marked one of the biggest sporting gatherings in Spain's history. Argentina's national football team has received a warm welcome from fans following their World Cup final defeat to Spain. Supporters gathered at the team's training camp near Obituaries as the squad arrived on an open-top bus. Several players, including Lionel Messi, were not part of the returning squad. Despite the loss, fans showed their support for the team after a memorable World Cup campaign. Former Liverpool and England star Kevin Keegan has died at the age of 75 after battling cancer. Keegan, regarded as one of the greatest players of his generation, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and underwent treatment in January. He is one of only 4 Englishmen to win the prestigious Ballon d'Or award during a glittering playing career, while his colourful time as a manager included reviving Newcastle. K-pop superstars BTS have revealed and released a music video for their song Normal. Well, Normal is the group's second single from the latest album Maritime, and the music video marks the 4th official music video for the record. Maritime is the septet's 5th regular album and has 14 tracks. BTS co-headlined the FIFA World Cup halftime show alongside artists Madonna, Shakira, Burna Boy and Justin Bieber. The first full trailer for Avengers Doomsday is out. The superhero adventure is expected to end the 2026 box office year with a bang. The trailer sees heroes from across multiple Marvel universes unite to face Robert Downey Jr.'s villain, Dr. Doom. The Hollywood star played Iron Man in earlier Avengers blockbuster. Among the Marvel characters set to feature in the film are Chris Hemsworth's Thor, Chris Evans' Steve Rogers and Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova. Avengers Doomsday is the first from Walt Disney-owned Marvel to unite the Avengers and the X-Men.
Put aside your petty squabbles. Presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters.
17 years later, Rajkumar Hirani's 2009 film 3 Idiots is officially returning to the big screen on 4th of September 2026. The movie follows the journey of 3 engineering students. It was one of the movie projects of Amir Khan, which caused a paradigm shift in the movie industry. The film also features R. Madhavan, Sharman Joshi, Kareena Kapoor Khan, Boman Irani and Omi Vedya. The highly anticipated teaser for Batwara 1947 is out. It offers a powerful first look at the Sunny Deol-led historical drama. Directed by Rajkumar Santoshi, the film explores the harrowing human cost and emotional toll of the 1947 partition. The film was originally titled Lahore 1947 before being renamed to Batwara 1947. The movie is set to release on August 14th. Hong Kong star Patrick Tse has died at the age of 89. His family announced the actor and filmmaker's death on social media. Daughter Jennifer Tse mentioned in a post that he died peacefully at the hospital surrounded by the love of his family after a period of declining health. Tse made his debut in the Hong Kong film industry in the 1950s and went on to become a household name in the next 2 decades. He survived by singer's son Nicholas Tse and model daughter Jennifer Tse. Irish actor Brenda Fricker, who is universally known for her role as the Pigeon Lady in Home Alone 2, passed away at the age of 81. Born in Dublin in 1945, Fricker enjoyed a prolific acting career spanning several decades across theatre, television and film. She made history in 1990 by winning the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her compelling portrayal of Bridget Brown in Jim Sheridan's My Left Foot.